you know, I got the itch to buy one, and I was going to see a customer in South Alabama, and again on Craigslist, a guy had a long wheelbase, and I know the short beds are really popular,
Mm.
but I want to be able to have a toolbox that sits in the back of that truck when I'm done with it, and actually have some bed use.
Yep.
And it's a small town, Ozark, Alabama. I don't even think they got less than 5,000 people.
Wow.
And I said, yeah, I'm passing through. I said, I want to take a look at the truck. And I pulled up, and he was sitting in his driveway. And I don't know if they do this up where you're from, but the guy goes, here's the keys, go take it around the block. And I was like, are you serious? So no power steering, no power brakes. I got in it, and I was like, okay, this is so cool. I just have always liked the way the long beds look.
Yep.
And so I looked at it, and then he was asking too much, in my opinion. So I kind of just, you know, was like, I'll be in touch. A few months went by, and it was actually one night. It was on a Sunday night, like 3 days before my son was born.
Oh.
The guy messaged me at 10 o'clock, and he goes, are you still interested in the truck? And I was, well, yeah, but I'm not going to pay you what you're asking. He goes, well, make me an offer. And my wife's asleep, and I'm like, shit. So
you're like,
yeah. So I threw a number out there, which I thought was a fair price, but it was way lower than what he was asking. We negotiated a little bit, and then he said, okay, it's yours. And I was like, oh shit, my wife's asleep, and I just bought a truck.
oh.
So the next morning, she woke up, and I was like, babe, you're in that truck at 71? She's like, yeah. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I just bought that last night. I said, but it's for our son, it's okay. And she goes, kind of rolled her eyes, and she's like, well, no more toys. So that's kind of how that happened.
Was she like, what do you mean you kind of sort of bought a truck?
Yeah, she was, but I was like, well, yeah, kind of, sort of. Actually, I did. So
Yeah.
She was cool about it, though. I had a lot of people like, man, you're going to be in the doghouse, which, you know, she was a little upset. She's like, I can't believe you just bought that. And I was like, well, I did. I'm sorry. And she's like, again, no more toys right now. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So.
And how far along were, because I know you had your little one. How far along did you have the Cobra when you got the truck? Was that like a big time difference, or was it
when I first got the Cobra?
When you ended up, so you had the Cobra first, then got the truck, right?
Correct.
Gotcha.
I bought the truck last July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so yeah, I was wanting to finish off the interior, but like I said, I got the itch to buy another project before my current one's done, and
I think we all end up having that bug.
Yeah.
So
and like I said, it's a completely different animal than a Cobra. So.
Yeah, definitely. Which leads me to my question on the truck, since we're still on it. Did you end up putting long tubes and a cam on it? Because I listened to a cold start.
Yeah. I didn't put a cam. The truck is super straight. It's never been an accident. It sat in the barn for like 12 years. I mean, so there's a couple rust spots in the bed, but it's a 360 automatic, but it had the original exhaust, and that was a pain to get that off, just because it'd been on there for so long.
Yeah.
So yeah, cold start is actually open header cold start with stock motor. So.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. My neighbors hate me, but they're like, y'all are moving, so we're fine.
They're like, here he goes again. That's awesome. Yeah, you have a really cool video of the truck starting up that I thought for a moment you had like long tubes on it or a cam in it or something like that. It sounded pretty mean.
Yeah, just long tubes.
Just some long tubes. That's awesome. So do you have more plans for that, or do you want to like fully restore it?
Yeah. So again, kind of along the same lines as my Cobra, you know, there's things that I just don't have the ability to do.
Yep.
The room, the tools, the Crown Vic swaps I think are really cool. So there's actually a guy that's local here in Birmingham, and they've been a customer of mine for a while, but they've also over the years built some super cool hot rods. And he's about to do a Crown Vic swap on a 59 F100.
Yep.
So the truck is currently at their shop. I posted a picture of the truck next to an 03 Crown Vic, a black one.
I saw that.
Yeah, so the front end and the rear end of that car is going on that truck. So it's going to get power steering, four-wheel disc brakes, and that way my wife could drive it. And plus, if you've ever driven a truck with power steering, power brakes, that gets old after you get down the block. You're like, this sucks.
Yep.
So that's I'm going to keep the motor, the 360 in it for a while, until at some point I will put something else into it. But when I get it back, it'll have, like I said, power steering and then four-wheel disc brakes all the way around.
That's awesome.
And,
I was
and
trying to figure that out.
Yeah, and it's going to sit like really low, so it's going to be cool.
Definitely. Okay, I can kind of envision what it's going to look like down the road now with that in mind.
And my idea was because the F100s, they can tow about 5,000 pounds, so I'm going to get a tow hitch on it. So I envision towing my car to shows with that truck. So
there you go. See, now we're getting to the bigger picture. I see. I got it now. All right.
Yeah.
I like that. What down the road, would you paint the truck to be that factory paint, or would you go completely different? Because I'm trying to envision this truck done.
You know, you only can have the patina once. And I polished it up, and I was like, man, this thing, I clay barred it, and it cleaned up really nice. I'm not going to touch the paint on it. Once I get it back, I'll polish it up again, probably clear it, but
yeah,
I like the way it looks. I think the way that the patina on the hood turned out looks great, so I don't want to change that.
You don't want to take away that character that it has.
Right. That's all natural, so I don't want to change that.
Wow, that's some awesome power, man.
Yeah.
And did you?
And there's still more in it. Like I said, when I talked to Jeff, which I don't know if anybody lives down around Atlanta or whatever, but man, those guys at Mo's Speed Shop, I know Caleb at Foxcast has went down there and done some stuff, some videos, but man, they do awesome work they know Fox bodies really well, but they do a lot of really cool stuff. And I told him, I said, I want a good tune. I don't want to break anything, but I want it to run really well. But there's more in it I could get out of it. It's just, like I said, I was planning on doing that, but then, the whole world changed, so to speak.
Yep.
So I'm putting that on the back burner.
Well, ever since your friend kind of took you for that drive, and he's got 622 horsepower, it's like the potential's there, but at the same time, you're like myself. I have a T5 in my car. You kind of want to be, you want to tiptoe around it, so to speak.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
That's why I don't. And I'm running drag radials. Before I put the drag radials on, about, I don't know, probably about 4,800 RPM, the tires would start spinning in seconds. So when I put the drag radials on, that stopped. But it does make me nervous if I was to launch it. I don't know if the transmission will hold up. So I just kind of ease into it. I mainly just cruise around in it. So.
And the interior trim?
Yes, sir. That's right.
So there's some more uniqueness. So that all makes sense why you would choose that car.
Right, and that's why I don't want to break anything on it. So.
Yep. Man, that's fantastic. All right. So my last and final question, I think we're doing good. Is, since you've had so many, we'll call it cars and Mustangs, what advice could you give to, the Mustang enthusiasts, the person in the Mustang community, and to the newbies that are, someone might be looking for, a Fox body or a Mustang? What would be your advice to them if they're getting started into a build? They want to add some horsepower. What would be your initial advice for them?
I think foremost and first, it's your car and it's your build. So you're going to learn really quick that everybody has an opinion on what you should do, or, hey, this company makes a better clutch than what you're thinking about. Build your car like you want to build. Have an insight, like an end goal, like, if you want to race a car, if you just want like a garage queen that you cruise around in, kind of know where you want to be and kind of where you like to end up. And, people are going to have opinions, but, it's your car, so do what you want to it. And second, if you're going to have someone else do work to it, because, not everybody has the ability to do everything at home,
sure,
do your research and make sure that you find some guys. I actually had to have the front of my car repainted because the first guy that painted it did a really shitty job on the front half of it. So I had the whole engine bay redone, and if I would have done a little bit more research and asked better questions, then I would have taken it over to Mo's Speed Shop and had those guys with their connections do the stuff that I couldn't do. So build your car like you want it. Everyone else's opinion is just an opinion. If you're happy, you're happy, and just do your research and have fun. But be ready to bust some knuckles, because even if you don't do it all, you're gonna have to work on a Fox body.
Issue was, I'm like, that's definitely gonna suck. But you know, you did it by yourself, and like you said, that's like a nice pat on your back, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep. Cool, man. Well, let's see. I think we got. Oh, wait a minute. Stand